Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning into the channel. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're back. If you've been watching my stuff, also if you're new here, welcome. Here at this channel, I'm just documenting my mobile detailing journey on building my business and helping you guys out with any advice or tips that I can give. In today's video, we're actually going to be going over my detailing setup. And I'm going to show you guys how I set up, how I use everything, what I spent. I'm going to show you the interior, exterior, and you guys can feel free to ask any questions about all my equipment, any chemicals I use. I'll briefly scan over that. We're not going to go too crazy in depth, but yeah. So let's dive into it. So it's obviously raining today out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is the mobile detailing whip. Truck's very dirty. Just went camping 2 weekends in a row. It's been raining non-stop, so I'm just kind of, pausing until it's done. So we got a 2001 Ford Explorer 4.0 liter V6. Nothing too fancy, an old truck, got about 150,000 miles on it. That stuff's coming out. So let's get right into it. This is the back seat. This is where I keep all the miscellaneous, obviously towels and the stuff that you see right off the bat. This, I wash my towels so often and buy new ones, they just end up in here. Let's go ahead and set that right there real quickie. And here, I keep extra towels, obviously hats, lots of bags and stuff like that. It usually was folded with towels, so I can just grab and go, but the demand is so high, just buy new ones and pull one out and use them. So I got my cord here, storage container. Here's my steamer. This thing does wonders, seriously. It used to just be all brush until, the steamer and the brush, they work well together. Got my drills for interior shampooing. Basically, just go over some quick supplies. Jack Wax, Instant Shine. Got oil for the pressure washer and the generator. Got my brushes. I keep coffee in here because a little tip I got was when you ever have to clean organic matter. When you're ever cleaning organic matter, it's really hard to get the smell out with just chemicals, and you don't want to mask the smell. So basically, what you do, if you can, go to the client before you schedule the actual appointment, because if you can get it in, at least 24 hours before you actually extract it, spreading coffee all over the carpet, on the floor mats to wick up the smell. And then when you go, you obviously vacuum it up, you extract it, you use your chemicals, and that's going to help out a lot. Because if I had to go back and touch up multiple times and try to mask the smell, and the whole time the coffee saved me. I tried to go dark, but all they had was medium dark roast. Anyway, gloves. These are awesome. Wally World, 10 bucks each. Get them if you can, otherwise they're gone. Let's see. I got my brushes in there. I got a couple extra brushes. Nothing too fancy. Ooh, this bad boy is a lightsaber. Let's just go with that. He's a lightsaber. This removes all pet hair. And then obviously you got the drill. I use my other brushes where it just kicks up all the other stuff. So this is like the little miscellaneous. There's my compounds and polish, bug remover, charger. I got rags. Just kind of set this like this. What is tool bag, super clean. Degreaser. Got my bucket with my hose and my brushes. Vacuum over there. And I do have storage in here, but I'm not gonna, remove everything. And I got a little storage section right here just to keep my personal stuff, my weighted vest. And where's this? Boom, that's pretty much it. I usually come to this side. This is my go-to section. So that's it for the back seat. And we will come around here and you will see the full setup. So, by the way, this is a 4-foot bed. I used to have a 6-foot bed. Held everything perfectly. And my back seats, I had tons more shit in there, but smaller truck, so you gotta work with what you got. I do have a gravity fed system, which most people do. It just comes running out here. I have a block underneath, if you can see it, and she's strapped right there. So she's not going anywhere. My brass elbows are safe. Basically, hose comes out. I have a quick adapter, but when you hook it up to this, it obviously needs pressure to get the pressure washer going. Otherwise, you're screwed. You know, then your pressure washer won't work because it doesn't have enough pressure. So what I do is I just go ahead and I keep it on there anyway, but I just unthread it. And then when it's down here on the ground, I just tap into it. She's strapped in. So you guys are actually looking at my current setup, but it's going to be changing here in a bit. I'm going to be creating, you know, basically a whole new blueprint of this setup. Turn your ramp. Basically setting up a whole new setup. Setup. Say that 5 times fast. So I'm gonna have like nets. Basically my goal here is to take out as much as I can from the back seat and put it over here and organize it so that I only have to go back here. I would like my back seats to myself. I also have my dog and I bring him to work, and I'd like to have space in there, you know, as well for him comfortably. And soon here, along with these blueprints, I'm also coming up with something to go ahead and just show you. But I'm actually going to be taking out this front seat, and I'm going to build a platform all the way across that comes here. Take the seat out, build a platform all the way across, so I have all this big L-shaped, got plenty of space. So if I want to camp, sleep inside long ways, I can. And then I can also have some equipment in here and also have room for my dog. So let's go back. So it's pretty short, pretty sweet. This is actually brand new. I just got a new pressure washer. This thing's awesome. The Craftsman. I think it's like 2800. But this thing works well, especially in low pressure. You know, having a gravity fed tank, not a lot of pressure comes out. So that's that. Nothing too crazy on it, but it works well. And I try to keep it clean, you know. So here's where the water comes. I usually fish this through here. Boom. And then drops down like that. And then it comes right into the side of the pressure washer. And she gets a lot more pressure so I can fill up my buckets. So nothing too crazy. Tire brush. This is just extra. I don't use a fancy foam cannon, to be honest. I think I bought this at O'Reilly's. I do use Jack Wax soaps. Really good stuff. Simple green. Love this thing. I do use the super clean. So super clean, simple green. Odor control. This stuff smells really good. They got a bunch of good ones. Also, Chemical Guys, you know, I like their interior shine. This one right here. So this is actually I clean my windows with. Water and vinegar. Sometimes it's just water. It works great, especially when you're, you know, when it's super sunny out here in Las Vegas, like it is now, or like it is now. It's obviously gloomy. But some days it's 110, like it was last week. And you'll be cleaning these windows and they're so hot and they evaporate and they streak, even if you're not using chemicals. I was using window cleaner from Jack's Wax, and it was working good, but some days it just it wasn't working, and I just would revert back to like my 2-rag method with water, and it works great. So I just stick to it. No more chemicals. Now I'm not spending. I literally used to go to Jack's Wax and clear out a case of their window cleaner, but now I'm saving way more money and the trip, because there's only one location in town and it's way across town. So, you know, not too fancy with the chemicals. You know, it's not so much the chemicals that do the job. You know, they do help. They do about 60% of it, and the rest is you know, operator. So, you know, you got to use your brushes, your steamer, your rags. Everything works together as a team to come out with good, you know, to come out with a good product, a good service. This thing's trash. This needs to be tossed. Yeah, that thing's done. I usually buy the pack, but that has been my last one for a minute. Got Ultimate Shine. This stuff is pretty good shit. It's about $50 a gallon because it's really strong. I try to go through it very slow. It's great conditioner for interior. It's also really good for tires. Preferably, you can't really use it. You can't really use it in the summertime. I noticed you're either caking it on, and people don't like that. I don't like that. Or you put a little bit and you dilute it, and just when the sun's hitting it, it's streaking. So, I switched up to the chemical guys. Their formula seems to work great for me. It's a little bottle and it lasts stupid long versus the other stuff. So, keep it simple. I will be upgrading to like a toolbox one that's open, to where I can just have my bottles around me and my brush is organized, and I just have my little kit, and I can get rid of this because this is awesome, but I shouldn't have to have this many chemicals on me. I should just be able to, I guess have a backup. Or if I am gonna have chemicals like this, I don't know, just put them somewhere. I'm gonna come up with something pretty neat. So, anyway, let me put this right here. So I got my generator, Ryobi Jenny. This thing is awesome. Let's pull it out. This thing's the bee's knees right here. So it does the job for what I need it to. It doesn't power my vacuum and my steamer at the same time. So the first thing I do when I pull up to a house, and I'm gonna crank out the client's car, I actually go ahead and, because also gas is so high, what I've been doing is just asking to use their power. I get my steamer going, throw the splitter, and I actually don't use this. Like I said, it doesn't power bowls, and it's just more efficient to just ask the customer to use their power. But today, for example, I did use this. I used the steamer and the vacuum, and vacuum the car, and as soon as I'm done, I'll unplug it and get that steamer going, get that warmed up, and it's usually in like 5 to 10 minutes max, it's ready. But in the meantime, you're still cleaning and being productive, trying to, crank out the car. This thing's awesome. She was a bit bougie for what I needed when I first got her. I wish, since I spent this much money, I wish it just would have went for the Predator. I would like to have something that powers multiple appliances at once, and also it's pretty wear and tear. The old pull start on your shoulders and stuff. The Predator, God, what is it, 3200 or something, powers both of them, and you just got a power switch. You just hold it and she cranks her on. So, other than that, this thing is awesome. I got so much good stuff to say about it. It does what I need. It's quiet, warranty, it's Bluetooth, it's got all the gear, and it's kind of fading now. It's only a year old, but it goes with my logo. Everything's gonna be green. And over here I have a laundry bag, all my dirty rags. Usually, like I said, this is out on the floor, and I can just access that and throw all my rags in there. And then, this is my Amazon special. This is my Yamatic handgun. This thing's awesome. It's heavy duty, solid. Even though it was made in China. And this hose is awesome too. Doesn't kink. It's much more pliable, especially out here in Vegas. The sun heats it up, and it's not getting all kinked, and it's just easier to wrap up. This is actually for a light, and I don't know, it just sopped out. It's just kind of organized and kind of out of the way. I was throwing it on here, but it kept hooking these bottles and snapping the necks, so I just kind of gave up. Nice. I just got a rag on me. So yeah, this thing does wonders. And now for my tank. It is a 50-gallon water tank. I fill up at a local spot called Clean Mart out here, ABC Wash. There's a bunch of other spots, but Clean Mart is my go-to. Those guys are awesome. I think they only have one location out here. I did actually, when I first started out in mobile detailing, I had a 100-gallon tank. When you first start out in mobile detailing, whether you're doing it part-time, you have a job, and you're doing it on the side, 100 gallons is a lot. And not to mention, when it's filled up, it weighs a lot. And your truck's gonna squat, and if you don't have a decent-sized engine, like a V6 and up, yeah, you're gonna be struggling. And that's how it was before in my little 4-cylinder. Plus, you don't have as many clients. You know what I mean? So you're filling up 100 gallons, right? And when you fill up, there's only one token gives you 60 gallons. So you're using two. And, you know, it's like you're filling up, you're driving with all that weight, that car. If this is your daily driver and your work, you know, your work rig, it's kind of hard. You're going to be hauling around water. Like today, I think I'm just under 40 gallons. I'm like at 35. That's still a lot of weight. I could feel it when I drive, you know, with all my equipment, and then I have a full tank of gas, and then I'm in there, and like, yeah, you're constantly driving with a load. That's what I'm saying. So, anyway, had the 100 gallon, didn't need it because I had just started out. And what I did was, my other truck had a topper, and my 100 gallon wouldn't allow the topper to lock, and people would, you know, try to steal my shit. So since I didn't have that much clientele, what I did was I went ahead and just traded them the 100 gallon for the 50 gallon, just a clean swap, because I needed it that day, and it was perfect. 2 brand new tanks. They took mines, I got this. It wasn't too much of a difference in price. Like, I'd say maybe $100, so I didn't have to cough up anything. That was nice. So this works out perfect for me. I can easily still do 3 cars in a day with 50 gallons. But that's because over time, I've really strategized on how to use my water and stuff like that, which I can talk about. It's tough. Now, if you're gonna do a full-size truck and it's got mud on it, and like, perfect example, I have a client to where on certain days I go and I take care of all 3 cars. He's got a brand new F-250 lifted. There's always mud caked on it. He's got a Hellcat, and then he's got a Porsche. And I do all 3 of those. And I always start off with this truck because it's the dirtiest, it takes the longest. But I used to have to throw a second tank in there, and the setup changes, and it's a lot of work. So basically what I do now is I go to his house, I hook up to his hose water, right? And I get all the mud off of his truck, get it all off, and when I'm done, then I can tap into my water again, and I can use my clean water as streak-free shit, and I can just, instead of rinsing it down, it's been rinsed and cleaned off already, I just go straight to foam, and foam it and wash it, boom, and then I get to rinse it, instead of rinse, foam, rinse, and then by the time I'm done washing his car, there's easily 35, 40 gallons, sometimes more, sometimes it's the whole 50 for that muddy truck. So, you heard? So this is perfect. I got a cool strategy on that. Everything fits. It's not crushing my truck, you know, super simple. Got my chemicals, got extra stuff in there. I mean, that's really it. You know, you don't need the fancy generator. You don't need the fancy pressure washer. You know, all you need is, you don't even need a big 100 gallon tank. You can do 50, you can even go smaller. You can even use 5 gallon buckets with lids. I know in other states people got well water and they just tap in and they wash the client's car with the well water. You know, and they show up with a fraction of this stuff. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. You know, it was when I started detailing, I overspent when I started. I could have started with maybe $500, but maybe you have a good job and maybe you have a little more money to, you know, spend, and you're gradually starting into your career of detailing. Me, I hopped in full send. I started in summertime. Summertime's the best time out here in Las Vegas. Everybody wanted their car washed. I literally had enough clientele. I got super lucky. I feel that I did good enough work. My prices were fair, and literally I just got booked up and I had a clientele, and it was enough to just break off right away. But, you know, I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend, you know, staying with a job, building your clientele slowly so you can afford, you got a steady paycheck coming in, because perfect example, this weather is actually making me lose money, and then when it's done raining, I gain money, but also I lose money when I touch up and I drive all around town. So I know I kind of go into a bunch of rants, forgive me. But yeah, guys, that's my setup. You don't need much to get started. This stuff right here did not cost a lot. Maybe just the soaps and certain things. You can go on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace to buy used. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with used, right? But warranty. You can return it if it breaks. That I would recommend buying used or new if you can afford it. I just happen to have the perfect setup here. So that's pretty much it, you guys. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any more questions, this wasn't a crazy in-depth one. Wasn't crazy in-depth, but I can go into pricing on everything, what I spent. Okay, and if you're just starting out, I can also help you out in that area too, where we can get you started for much lower costs, and and get you to start in other areas of the business if you want to take it serious and you want this to be your career and you want to dominate in this industry. We can start there, but don't go crazy. Don't drop a bunch of money on a brand new truck like some people do, and just get something used, affordable. Fuel is high, so you want to get something a little gas efficient, especially if you're going to be mobile. No need for a new van, no need to jump into payments. Just stick to with what you have. Live below your means. Get the bare minimum to get the work done. Practice on your work ethic, right? And then as you make more money, you build your clientele, you can afford more things to upgrade your little arsenal and get the party started. So, all right, you guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And if you got any value out of this or you have any questions, please do comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at Nico's Auto Detailing, right? Got the lime green logo. You'll see me. I post content there all the time, and I'm always posting on my story if you want to see more often. This YouTube thing, I'm just getting into it. It's just the beginning. There will be one video out every week. So I love you guys. Please subscribe. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.